Hello my loves, I'm Ellie Frost, and on this channel we're talking about the multi-dimensional approach to rapidly and radically healing and transforming during and after narcissistic abuse. And this video is just a lovely reminder that you were never the problem. The narcissist always was, right? During this cycle, we start losing our sense of identity, our sense of self. We don't get our needs, wants and desires met. The narcissist will slowly erode you over time, break you down, lose your confidence, lose your self-esteem, treat you in ways that confuse you. And, they'll gaslight you completely. So they'll distort your sense of reality. They'll distort your sense of right and wrong. And they'll push your boundaries slowly over time, more and more and more. And they'll convince you, or try to convince you, that the problem is with you. You're too sensitive. Yeah? You shouldn't act like that. You're just this. Yeah, they'll punish you. They'll do like passive aggressive behaviors. They'll do often overtly aggressive behaviors to punish you for being your true self, or to punish you for just being you, right? Because the narcissist is molding you into what they want you to be, not who you really are. They're not helping you become more expressed. If you want to become more expressed, by the way, I've got a program live at the moment called Rebirth. Do message me about that, because that's all about letting the past go and rebirthing into our true selves, letting go of past trauma, letting go of bits of our identity that have got distorted, right, and stuck in these cycles. Because the narcissist literally starts really affecting our sort of self-image, our concept of self. So we can go, like I talked about before, before I got into a narcissistically abusive relationship, I was really confident. I'd moved countries on my own. I'd set businesses up on my own. I was really, really confident. By the end of that relationship, I was scared to go out the door. I was scared of everything, right? Because all the time I was expecting something to go wrong, and my identity had been so damaged by this cycle. Right, so the identity work is in Rebirth. Comment below if you want the link. You can still join that. We've only just got started. But you were never the problem. The narcissist always was. But the problem is, when we've been subconsciously programmed and conditioned to put up with narcissistic abuse, we might have spent decades being told that it's a problem with us. My dad used to tell me all the time, "You're just too sensitive." If I got upset about something, he'd shout at me and bully me, into things. Like everything I decided to do for myself, he would sort of put a dampener on and tell me that it would always go wrong, And I started fearing things going wrong all the time, right? Because this cycle affects our subconscious brain. So we've got to come back into ourselves, got to come home to ourselves and the truth, which is that the universe wants to support us. The universe loves us. That actually we are more supported and taken care of than we even know. That actually we get to form a life that we want, and we get to be fully ourselves, right? And if you've been with a narcissist, you were never the problem. But everything you do will often be a problem, especially if you get happy and joyful. Like narcissists really don't like happy people, especially when you're really enjoying yourself. They'll want to bring you down because, you're weaker. The more depressed you are, the more anxious you are, the more, they want to be able to manipulate you. And they can, when you're really happy and free, you're harder to manipulate. But they'll often love bomb you while you're feeling good and then drag you down, right? You were never the problem. The narcissist is the problem if you're with a narcissist. And you'll never be good enough for a narcissist. You'll never get it right enough. So, why try? Many of us would have been through these cycles, especially with romantic partners, but could be with parents and family, where I spoke today in the course about I was an overachiever for years. I felt I had so much to prove, right? Because my dad had, and my mum, the way that they were both narcissistic, and the way that they conditioned me was to believe that I was never good enough. I couldn't get anything right. I mean, I was an A-grade student and I was the shyest, most unconfident person. I couldn't even feel good about my achievements. I was scared to put my hand up in the class in case I got it wrong. And my English teacher at the time, because I was the top student in the class, came to me and had a go at me and said, I think you're just so arrogant. You get the top marks, but you don't contribute to the class. And I got really upset. And I said to her, it's not that I don't want to contribute. I love talking about English. I'm just so petrified I'll get it wrong. It didn't matter how many A stars I got. I was petrified of getting it wrong because my parents had conditioned me to believe I was wrong, right? So they were the problem. I wasn't the problem. But I started learning to be this overachiever, and I ended up burning out because I was trying to like prove myself to the world because I'd been conditioned to believe that I was never enough. So the narcissist will program your subconscious brain to believe that you don't matter, and your true identity doesn't exist. You exist to what they need and want you to be, which is a game that you'll never win because you'll never be enough for a narcissist. They're insatiable on their supply, right? They'll just try and traumatize you as much as possible because that's where they get an energy hit in the psychic realm. This is a spiritual attack. This is a psychic attack, right? So they're going to try and keep you traumatized so they can keep siphoning your energy in the psychic realm. I've got lots of videos on that, guys. But you are not the problem. Yeah? They want you traumatized. They want you beaten down. You're easier to manipulate when you're weak. You're more likely to look for them for, when we're beaten down by a narcissist, we look for guidance from them, right? They're controlling our whole kind of way which we're showing up. We're reacting to them the whole time, grey rocking, stonewalling, trying to keep the peace, trying to keep them happy. Our whole life becomes about what they want rather than about who we really are. If you want to come into who you really are, definitely check out, Sovereign's my narcissistic abuse relationship recovery program, but I've got Rebirth running live right now, and that is all about letting go of these kind of traumas, coming into our true identity and our true selves. So I hope you like this video. Remember, you were never the problem. The narcissist always was. Lots of love, guys. I'll speak to you soon.